Hello there, Drew Hanish of Whiskey Lore. Time for another whiskey tasting. Today I am doing a tasting of Bruichladdich, the classic Laddie Scottish barley, which this is a bottle that you definitely can spot on the shelf. You don't have to go hunting around. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is a very unique bottle. And actually, the first time I saw it, I thought maybe it was made out of clay or something. It just has a very cool matte finish to it. Bruichladdich is one of my favorite distilleries. They do everything pretty much at 50 ABV. They do peated and unpeated. A lot of people say, oh, well, Bunnahabhain is the only distillery on Islay that really does a majority of their whiskey in unpeated. But Bruichladdich does a lot of whiskeys that are unpeated, and they do a lot of work with different types of grain. And this is one of those where they do a process. They call it a cuvée, which is a term that I heard a lot at Waterford, which is where the former owner of Bruichladdich went to in Ireland to really start working on terroir and different grain types and really going into the science of grain. And they were doing that at Bruichladdich as well. And so there's a lot of varieties. Sometimes look at the label and see whether it says Scottish barley, which comes from inland, it comes from around the Inverness area, or if it says Islay barley, which means it came from one of the many farms on Islay. And that barley should give you a different flavor profile, with the Islay barley giving you maybe a little bit more of that briny character and maybe some of the medicinal notes, but whereas you're going to get much more of a foresty kind of an experience out of the Scottish barley. And European American oak barrels used for this whiskey, so we'll see what it has in terms of variations. You're going to find this probably around $65 a bottle. If you are one who's not a fan of smoke, this is a good whiskey to start with. On the nose, I get lemon, honey, maybe a little toffee note coming in there as well. Floral, a little bit of oak. Some of the barrel tannin from the sherry barrel I'm picking up on the nose just a little bit. And I say no smoke, but it's actually kind of a char smoke. It's not a peat smoke that I get off of this. Cheers. Really nice mouthfeel. Lemon drop right off the bat. Some of your orchard fruits coming in there. Pepper zings you all of a sudden. Pepper stays on the palate, doesn't go down, and it's got a long finish, but it keeps a little heat on the back of your tongue. This is a whiskey that you need to work around your mouth, especially when you first put it in your mouth. There's a lot of flavors to be explored on the sides of your tongue. And I think what you may find over time, because I find this, is that the top of your palate gets a lot of work, and you don't pay attention to these sides. And I think, in a way, the lack of use of the sides creates more intensity of those flavors when they hit the sides of your tongue. And for me, it pulls out different flavors that I may not be experiencing just by leaving the whiskey on the top of my tongue. I was watching somebody during the whiskey fair I was at the other day drinking the whiskey like gulp. I'm like, you're just missing everything. You have to drink vodka. I mean, you'll have some residual flavor in your mouth, but you are missing the experience of holding that on your tongue, moving it around your mouth, and really engaging with the whiskey before you swallow it. If it just goes right from your front palate down your throat, then you're probably getting about 30% of the experience of drinking whiskey. And of that 30%, probably half of that 30% is just the slight buzz that you're going to get out of swallowing whiskey. Flavor, you're really cheating yourself. So the finish also comes at you with a mixture of orange and lemon, so a lot of citrusy notes in this. I was told there was a salty, briny character to this. I don't really get that. It's more lost in the pepper notes that I'm pulling in. A little sour from the tannins from the sherry cask. This isn't overly, oh, a little grapefruit too. This isn't overly influenced by either barrel as far as I can tell. Very light color there. We don't know how old this is. As they say, it's a mixture of different vintages, so they're just looking for a really nice blend to make this work. This is an interesting whiskey for me because it took me a while to get used to it. I don't know whether I was looking for that combo of citrus and pepper, and so it was a mood whiskey. It's like, if I'm in the mood for it, okay, but I'm just not really overly excited about this particular whiskey. But the more I drink it, and the more I get used to it and now start to understand what it is, and this just evolves over time, I am starting to appreciate aspects of this whiskey, such as that citrus and the variety of citrus in there, that it comes at you with a little orange, a little lemon, a little grapefruit. So there's a variety of flavors that you're getting in. So it's a complex whiskey in its own way, but I have to be in a citrus mood, and I have to want that little sting of pepper at the end. If I'm not in that mood, this isn't going to be the whiskey for me. It's kind of like lemon drop with a slice of pepper. So my opinion on this one is that if you are getting into whiskey, and you want to jump into a scotch, as long as the peppery note doesn't bother you, because it is there and there's some intensity to it, then this might be a really good starter whiskey. Of the people that I introduced it to, most of them liked it. So people who were bourbon drinkers, who when I gave them, said honey, floral, citrus, they liked that idea and enjoyed it when they drank it. So I think if you're prepped for what it is, and if somebody prepped me, I probably would have enjoyed it more the first time I had it. So what do you think of the classic Laddie? Are you a fan of it? I mean, there does seem to be a large contingent of people who are lovers of Bruichladdich, the classic Laddie. And leave your comments below. Give me a like if you will, and that will get more people to see this video. And until next time, cheers and Slainte. Mouthfeel is nice. I do get a little briny note in there, but not on the finish. It was actually as it got into my mouth and started working its way around. Pepper and citrus on the sides of the tongue. Very interesting.